It is Premiership Semi-Final weekend and the teams have been selected for West Country Derby, Bath versus Bristol. And in this video, I'm going to go through the choices that have been made, discuss the matchups and give you my prediction for who will make it to the Premiership Final next week. Hello, amateurs. Welcome back to the channel. Hope to see you again here soon. Now then, the build-up has been all about the fact that this is a big West Country derby. Well, it has from the Bristol side, to be fair. Players and coaches alike have been building up the rivalry in the press all week with people like Pat Lam saying how, Bristol don't lose to Bath. They've won 11 out of 14 Premiership games since they came back up, apparently, and beaten Bath twice in the Premiership last year, 2 out of Bath's 4 defeats. So, in some reckoning, it seems like Bristol have got the wood on Bath. Ellis Genge mentioned that if you grew up in Bristol and you're a Bristol rugby player, you're kind of taught to hate Bath, really, and everything that they're about. Obviously, that's the club, it's the ethos, it's not the players themselves. As he said, he's got really good relationships with a lot of the guys there, including the man he's going to be locking horns with, Will Stewart. And that was all about the players, right? That's all about the staff. But the fans, not so much. Take a look at that graphic. Return tickets available now. Bristol did not sell out their allocation for this semi-final, this massive Premiership semi-final, just down the road against their biggest rivals. Huge high ticket prices seem to be what has been holding back the Bristol fans from going along there. Bath is renowned as being the most expensive rugby ground to go and watch rugby at in England, and it's the Bristol fans are voting with their feet. Expect there to be a lot of Bath fans there on Friday night. However, talked a lot about Bristol so far, and let's talk a bit about Bath. They are focusing very much on themselves. This rivalry almost feels like a little bit of a big sibling, little sibling rivalry, where the young scrapper is, sort of making all the shapes, but the big older sibling is just sort of like staying there quietly, reserved, waiting to make his move. So we shall see exactly how that plays out for these two teams. Okay, let's get into the selections announced earlier today. In the forwards, missing. Let's start with that. Sam Underhill, after getting his ban for that head-high shot in the final a couple of weeks back now. However, Bath are absolutely stacked, and this is one of the reasons why they have been top of the log all season. It's why they've been secured a semi-final spot for some time, because they've got some strength in depth. So with Sam Underhill out, they've just replaced it with Guy Pepper, who is very much an up-and-coming, well, more than that now. He absolutely is an outstanding Premiership player. And I've no doubt, if he can force his way in there, will get a lot of England caps as well. He's a fantastic young player. The other big decision here, really, in the forwards is that they've gone with Alfie Barbary starting. He's done a lot of damage off the bench in recent weeks, and Bath's ability to have strength in depth and then really power in that last half an hour, 20 minutes has shown in a lot of games. But they've gone with him from the start in this game. Let's see if that pays off. Into the backs. And the big question here was whether Cam Redpath was going to get fit or not, and he is. So I think that is a massive thing for Bath. I mean, Will Bath played fantastically well this season, particularly at the start of the year. But if they could get their gun back line out, assuming Ollie Lawrence, obviously injured for the season, isn't included in that, then this is it. It's the most experienced setup they could put out. There was a chat maybe that the young lad, I've forgotten his name, that's been playing, Donahue, he's been playing really well recently, might get a run at fullback. That Tom de Glanville's an outstanding player, and obviously a wealth of experience there from him as well. On to the bench for Bath, and this is one of the areas where you look at this and you just go, wow, that's a lot coming on. I mean, all the way across the front row, but especially Thomas du Toit, who is, he's one of the world's best tight ends. Bath have got 2 of the world's best tight ends at the moment, and that is a phenomenal place to be. Ross Maloney, great player. Mars Reid, fantastic player. And then there's Donahue and Bayliss on a 6-2 bench. Lots of pace, lots of power, lots of ability to come on and change the game late for Bath. That's been the difference probably for them for most of this season. Okay, looking at Bristol Bears. And the big news here is Rich Lane still out injured on the back, obviously, of Max Malin's being out injured for most of the season as well. That's two quality operators at fullback. But Hewitt comes in there and he's done well himself when he's played. And again, Bristol seem to be pretty much at full strength here. Question mark whether Grondona, who's done fantastically well in recent weeks, might have got the start in the back row, but they've gone with Luatu and they've gone with Harding and they've gone with Mata, who got a bit beaten up last week, looked a little bit sore, but he is back and starting and playing really fantastic rugby in his later years of his career here for Bristol. Also, a stat, and I'm not overly keen on stats in rugby. I don't think they tell the full story. However, Ravuvu on the right wing has made the most meters out of any player in the Premiership regular season. So, I mean, however you get to that number, it's still an outstanding thing to have achieved. So, well done you. Now then, what can we expect to see from these teams? What key matchups are we going to have here? And I think one of the most key ones is going to happen right in that front row where Ellis Genge, who's bulked up to 124 kilos at the moment, as big as he's ever been, is probably going to have to go 65, 70, maybe more minutes against first England teammate Will Stewart. And then he's going to have to try and take the legs out of Thomas du Toit as well, because no matter which way you cut it, the Bristol front row reserves just aren't quite as good as the starters. So Genge, next stop Lions, he is going to have a big outing, I think. And then, I mean, it's cliche, but it's the halfbacks for me. I think this is going to be really, really key. Randall and McGinty versus Spencer and Russell. Obviously, Bristol are going to want to be playing fast and loose. They're just going to be wanting to stress the Bath defence at every opportunity, make them race and chase and make decisions. Spencer and Russell can do that. But the way Bath play, they got the opportunity to play in lots of different ways. And I feel like they might want to try and stifle Bristol a little bit, not give them any turnover ball, that kind of thing. Control field position, although field position doesn't always make much difference to Bristol as well, to be honest. So that combination, that effort between the halfbacks is going to be absolutely crucial. The benches, as I mentioned earlier, Bath just look much stronger on the benches. And if it comes down to the last 20 minutes and they are close or just ahead, you just feel that Bath will take it away, which is what they've done in a lot of games this year. Into the psychology of this fixture. And I talked about this at the top. Bears are going all out on local derby emotion. And that kind of thing can take you a long way. There's use in that. However, I just feel like Bath, just more insular. They're trusting in their processes, the closeness within the group, all these things they've built over the last 3 years under Johan van Graan, which has impressed me absolutely endlessly. That's more solid. That's more stable. It's going to be interesting to see which one comes out on top. However, another factor in this is the fact that Bath have been assured of their semi-final space and a home semi-final since then for quite a long time. Now, I think that could have been an issue for them. It could have been an issue. They might have gone a little bit soft, lost some sharpness, apart from the fact they had that European final to peak for a couple of weeks ago. I think having that European final has been a perfect tonic for them and their preparations coming into these knockout phases of the Premiership. I don't think they'll be soft. I don't think they'll be off their game. I think they'll be absolutely fizzing. They've been able to rotate players, give players game time. I think they are going to be in a good place to go and attack this game against Bristol. Tactics, what we're likely to see. Well, I said this earlier as well. Bears will be trying to stress the Bath defence for every minute out of this 80. Moving the ball, offloads, playing from everywhere. That is their DNA. That's the way they like to play. And if they get it right, they can damage absolutely any team on the planet. However, they need to maintain accuracy. They need those offloads to stick. They need all the passes, all the little basketball passes and the front on passes that they do to go to hand. Because if they don't, then I feel like Bath will probably get control of the game and it'll make it very difficult for Bristol. Bath can play a load of different styles. They've got the ability to move the ball. They can run. They can drive. They can keep it tight. They can play field position with the excellent Spencer's kicking. And Russell can do that job as well. He's obviously known for his incredible passing range, but he's become a much more all-court fly half as the years have gone by. I feel they will play more of a stifling game against Bristol. I feel they will try and carry heavy and hard and often into this Bears defence, get that power game going, try and get over the top of them, and then execute when there's space. That's the way I see it going. That's going to be the matchup. Who do I think will win? Well, genuinely, obviously, it's a two-horse race. Either team could win. I think Bristol are going to need to get everything right. They're going to need to get their emotion dead right. They're going to need to get all those things to stick, as I said, to get the win. And it could happen, but I don't think it will. I think Bath are in a strong, stable position. I think their strength in depth is going to carry them through, even though I'm sure Bristol will give them a scare for quite a while. I think Bath, and I think it might be comfortable in the last 10 minutes. Okay, that's what I think, but what do you think? Do you think I've got it right? Let me know in the comments down below. Any other factors that I didn't mention that you think might play a key role in this game on Friday night? Any players that you think might play a key role? Let me know in the comments down below and give this video a thumbs up while you're down there. If you don't mind, it helps other people find it. And I will be doing a match review after this game. So make sure you come back to the channel and find that when I'll be talking about all the big incidents that happen in this game. And eventually you can subscribe there. Yeah, there. You can watch that one next. And don't forget to get out and play.